Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here in Overall Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. It is Year 2, Day 5 for EDSS here in the Realm Reborn, and last time we made our way to the last challenge that we required to get this. The new lance that belongs to EDSS. The ancient relic weapon once held by Saint Renette, known as the Gay Bulg. And now that we have it in our possession after 4 days of effort, it is now time, I dare say, to finally get onto the new main story that is available after you successfully defeat the Guardian Empire. So, yeah, I think we've kept Lady Minfilia waiting long enough. 4 days and many months on top of that has been too long for the leader of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, so why don't we start the Year 2 main story right now. Let's go ahead and speak with Lady Minfilia, and take the challenge entitled, The Price of Principles. Minfilia appears to be lost in thought. I wonder why that is. Lady Minfilia?
Edie, it pleases me to see you well.
Oh, then. I guess we're getting interrupted. Hey, Tataru.
Do excuse me for interrupting, Edie. My lady, the gentleman from Ashkana Exports has just left. I understand now why you didn't want to receive him.
Oh, what's going on?
You did well, Tataru. Please inform the guards that we will not be receiving any further guests this morning. Thank you, my lady.
It was nice to see you again, Tataru.
Ever since we defeated Gaius van Balsiar and destroyed his ultimate weapon, the eyes of the world have followed our every move, scarce remembering to blink. Where once we worked in secret with precious few friends and all too many enemies, we are now besieged by benefactors, each one more eager than the last to offer us his complete support. A true embarrassment of riches. Of course, every promise of patronage comes with a price. Some make their intentions known from the start, while others endeavour to engage us more subtly. Just as how they will, the message is ever the same. We shall help you, but only if you help us.
Not the thing you want to be doing?
The gentleman Tataru spoke of was more brazen from the most. In exchange for certain supplies, he would have us resolve a business dispute.
Yeah, that's very unbecoming work for the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. A business dispute? That doesn't sound like your forte.
Naturally I refused him, as I have every other merchant of his ilk. Alas, the Syndicate's overtures are not so easily rejected.
They're referring to Ul'dah, of course.
When we formed the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, it was with the goal of serving Eorzea, not the interests of individual Eorzeans. Our neutrality is fundamental to our cause. In my heart, I know this to be true, and yet, if accepting these offers of patronage could empower us to do greater good, might they not warrant greater consideration?
What's on your mind?
Our Baldessian colleagues have been generous beyond measure, but we cannot expect them to...
Oh, what came to your mind?
Oh, forgive me, I did not mean to burden you so.
Oh, we're all in this together, Lady Minfilia. I am a scion too, you know.
Yet my urge to share this dilemma may not be wholly misguided. Might I impose upon you to consult the others? They are like to have their own opinions on this matter.
Fair enough. I shall do as you ask, Lady Minfilia. And so, yeah, we want to speak with all of the main people that we've come to know over our time with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Namely, the people who are responsible to going out into the various territories of the 3 city-states and their respective regions, and being responsible for basically giving feedback on what's going on with the primals. So, let's go one by one with everyone, starting with Lady Y'shtola, who's the closest, naturally.
Might recall you our meeting with the Admiral shortly after the Lominsons sent word of the summoning of Titan. Then mayhap you also recall my words to our host. I said unto Merlweb that her people had broken their treaty with the kobolds, and that the beastmen had justly responded, that we had been called to intervene in a conflict which she herself had invited. In short, I spoke the truth. And wherefore did I speak it? Because, owing no allegiance to Limsa, I felt no compulsion to allow the Limsons to distort the facts to fit a narrative which justified their actions and absolved them of guilt. Upon this subject, Minfilia can expect a similar reply. Our many dalliances with the city-states have already weakened our claim to neutrality, but the path she contemplates would see us relinquish it entirely.
Thancred, we know you've been through a lot. Fortune begets power, and power fortune. That we, and especially you, have power is beyond doubt. The question is what to do with it. You may be interested to know that there is a growing belief amongst the refugees that Al Amigo could be liberated, if only the Scions would commit their strength to the cause. Yet theirs is but one of many causes. We stand at a crossroads, Zidi. Each path is paved with good intentions, but where they lead is far from clear. And then the two responsible for the Troll's Wood, the two we first met all the way back on day 5 in year 1, Ida and Papa Limo.
I have been receiving a lot of gifts lately, but Papa Limo keeps making me send them back.
No love letters? No fan mail?
It wouldn't be so bad, but some of them are really nice. I mean, very nearly abandoning your principles nice, you know?
And of course, Papa Limo trying to be the voice of reason, I guess.
None can deny that we would benefit from more support, but if it comes at the cost of our principles? Neutrality was ever a delicate matter. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain to people that our allegiances need not necessarily lie in the same place as our headquarters. Mind you, if we are to sell our services for Gil, we might as well declare our fealty to Uldar now, and have done with it. I'm quite sure Ida would enjoy the bribes.
And Urianger, you cover no territory, but you are our master scholar. 'Tis the lot of the powerful to attract the covetous, as well as the needy. Thus doth prudence dictate that those with power pour for aid, with one hand, while the other resteth ever on the hilt. Alas, we have not the luxury of time to decipher our petitioners' machinations. Nay, not while the beast tribes do labor unseen, defiant in defeat, to raise up their fallen primals once more. Doubt not Doubt not that they shall return, stronger and bolder both, nor that we shall be the ones to meet them. This sacred charge shall ever be ours. 'Tis but a pity we are so few, and our fortune so finite. And it ends, actually, with the young man who helped us to get the Scions of the Seventh Dawn back on their feet. One Alphinaud, to whom his twin sister we have not yet seen in many, many days. And months for that matter. So the final word rests with him.
This situation is not wholly unexpected. I, too, have given much thought to our organization's future, though it would seem I have reached a different conclusion. Mayhap it is time I made my feelings known to the Antecedent. Come along, Edie.
Okay, what do you have in mind there, Alphinaud? Alright, we returned.
Alphinaud? Edie? Is aught amiss? You desired counsel, and so you shall have it. Minfilia, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn must leave Uldar. We must do what?
Yeah, like, we can't just all up and leave.
So long as we remain within Uldar territory, we will never be free to act with impunity. Moving our headquarters to Vesper Bay only delayed the inevitable. We have demonstrated our capabilities and the Syndicate has taken note. They will not suffer our organization to remain independent now. We are far too dangerous for that. And so, surely you realize that they are the reason Vesper Bay still lacks an Aetheryte?
Yeah, that's...
They know full well how beneficial one would be to our cause.
Yeah, it certainly has been one of the great unfortunate situations that to get to these guys, you have to go from Verizon in Western Thailand to get here. Which is why it and other favors will be denied unless we cooperate. If Uldar is no longer suitable, where would you have us go? Experience has taught us that the appearance of neutrality is as important as the reality. Accordingly, we must keep each of the great nations at arm's length, and plant our banner in a place which all agree to be beyond their borders. So what's on your mind? Moldona. Really? That far away? Revenant's tool, to be precise. It lies within neutral territory and offers all the essential facilities we require. By way of an additional benefit, it is also frequented by a veritable legion of adventurers who may serve to supplement our ranks. But can they hold a candle up to me, the Warrior of Light? I don't think so, Alphinaud. I am, of course, conscious of the fact that we have developed a certain bond with Uldar and her people over the years. But I truly believe this to be the best course of action. So just up and leave. As you yourself observed, we have invaluable ties to the local community, forged through years of concerted effort. Uldar is our home, Alphinaud. To cast aside everything we have built and start anew in that desolate wasteland would be beyond reckless. The decision is yours to make, Descendant. I ask only that you recall the shared purpose which first moved us to found the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and which moved you to found the Path of the 12 ere that. We aspire to an ideal, you and I, just as my grandfather did, that makes us more than mere comrades in arms. We are as much for your family as... That'll be all, Alphinaud. Yeah, did Alphinaud go too far? Yeah, I mean, certainly suggesting Mordona as a relocation site was too much for Minfilia. I'm sure you have some familial affairs of your own to attend to? Yeah, namely one Alice. Your concern is most generous, but no. I have left them in the hands of men better suited to their task than I. I cannot very well allow my personal affairs to come before the needs of the Order after all. Well, if you say so. And so, for talking to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, we get 939 gil. Strange how the game works like that. Well, we started the first quest of this day with Minfilia, so we'll need to do so again. Taking on the level 50 challenge entitled Moving On. Once again, Minfilia appears to be lost in thought. Leave Uldar. Has it truly come to this? Oh, Edie, pray attend to Alphinaud. He's engaged in some business or other and requires your assistance. Pray be on your way. Alphinaud waits upon you, and I have much to think about. Oh, and tell him he shall have my answer in due time. Alright. Very well, Lady Minfilia. Then with that in mind, we shall go speak with Alphinaud. Maybe we can find out why he would make such a bold suggestion to move all the way out to Mordona for the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. So, Alphinaud, what about you? Confound it. She knows what must be done, and she still hesitates. All because of these fanciful rumors. Rumors? I should explain. Minfilia's mother, well, adoptive mother, was among the great many who perished during the Calamity. Philemon was her name, though you may know her better as the Songstress of Uldar. Well, this is news to me. She was a performer of singular talent, and much beloved by the people of Eorzea, not to mention a certain Charlayan minstrel. As you may imagine, the news of her passing was greeted with shock and disbelief by her adoring followers, many of whom refused to acknowledge what had happened. That her body was never found only served to encourage speculation. So, Minfilia too struggled at first to accept the truth, but as Philemon's absence stretched for months into years, she saw that there could be no other explanation.
Until recently, at any rate. For whatever reason, rumors have once again begun to circulate that Philemon is alive and well. Alas, they have served to rekindle an irrational hope in Minfilia which now clouds her judgment. This talk of Ul'dah as our home, and of the insurmountable difficulties of moving to Mordona, it is no more than an expression of her unwillingness to let go. Nonsense in a word. But until the tales of Philemon's miraculous preservation have been categorically disproved, I fear she will remain lost to reason. That being the case, I propose we set about disproving them post-haste. Let's see how these fanciful claims stand up to investigation. You want me to be your errand boy again? One of the most recent in this latest crop of rumors comes to us by the way of Father Iliud. Question him for me. I shall look into another alleged sighting and follow anon. Very well. Well, thankfully we don't have to go very far for this particular challenge, because we've been to this particular location before, where we're going. It's near Camp Drybone, over in Eastern Thanlin. This is where we first had the chance to meet this game's version of Sid, and encouraged him to come with us on our journey to revive the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and also to locate his long-missing airship. So, it is to Eastern Thanlin we go. So, back out into the hot heat of the deserts of Ul'dah and Thanlin. Let's find my way out of here. Because it will not take us long to get us where we need to go. It's a very short journey. All we need to do is just... Once we get to this point, we're going to, Okay, I think I may have taken a wrong turn. Yeah, I have. Oh boy, already we're off on the wrong foot. Yeah, Camp Drybone, the exits for it are so confusing, it's very maze-like. This was the exit that I wanted. Yeah, everything seems to blend together when you're trying to leave from Camp Drybone. It all looks like a blur. And so it is here that we want to go in order to gain access to the Church of Saint Adama Landama, where Father Iliud is located. We certainly gained an appreciation for what he and his fellow brothers and sister priests of the vocation have to do here. And so it is in this place where we will once again reunite with Father Iliud. Father, it's been a while. Oh, good morning to you, Edie. Alphinaud told me to expect you. Now, you are doubtless eager to ask me certain questions. But before you do, I must stress that I myself did not see Philemon. And that's a very awkward clashing of sprites. Princess Lena, you have very poor timing. Though I very much wish to say I had, I merely hearkened unto the tale of a mourner who came to stay with us. He is still here, if you wish to hear for yourself. You will find him in the Lich Yard, I should think. Alright, I'll take you up on that. So we want to meet with a visiting mourner, who's going to be over here. And also paying respects to someone who passed away. Hello there. Aye, I saw Philemon, just as clearly as I see you now. And yes, I'm sure it was her, before you ask. I could never forget a woman like that. You're not thinking what I think you're thinking, are you? 'Twas nigh on 7 summers ago that I first set eyes on her, and I still remember it as if it were yesterday. I'm happy to report that the years have only made her more beautiful. I thought so. Where did I? Costa del Sol. She was giving lessons to Gigaruju's women, and her voice. Gods, her voice! That soft tinkling of bells resonated in my very soul. I dare not say how her songs touched me. Well, we at least have a lead, so we'll go ahead and speak with Father Iliud again in order to complete this particular quest. And yes, this is still very awkward. Curse you, Princess Lena. Do I believe the man's tale? Well, I believe that he believes it. Though I do wonder. I doubt I would recognize someone I barely knew, whom I hadn't seen in 7 years. But if there is even the slightest possibility that Philemon still lives, do we not owe it to Minfilia to pursue it? And with that, the guild is ours, plus a choice of various foods that can be used to boost various stats in case we need to make it that way.
Each of these dishes offers various stat boosts depending on what it is you want to have increased. For me, I'm going to take the sauteed curl because it'll be best used for a dragoon. And so, we'll now take Father Iliud's challenge entitled Flowers for One. Father Iliud wishes to say a few words before you depart for Costa del Sol. If this woman resembling Philemon was employed at Costa del Sol, then that is where you should go. I will inform Alphinaud of these latest developments. You need only concern yourself with the search. Master Gigaruju should remember you from your past engagements, so I suggest you waste no time and approach him directly. Thank you very much, Father. I'm sorry Princess Lena had to disrupt this particular scene. But, in any event, off to Costa del Sol. Yeah, you are one bad kitty. You got that? You are one very bad kitty. So, back to where we went on our crazy little raid to get a scavenger hunt and get a whole bunch of different items just so that we could earn the privilege of finding out from big old Whiskate here where we could find the aetheryte that was used to originally summon an access point to Titan. I was gonna say summon Titan, but no, that's not us. That's what the kobolds do. I've gotten that all wrong. Okay. And Brother Dragoon is on their way out, as I now speak with Master Gigaruju, probably wanting to know the same thing.
Oh, sweet son of the sands, my Mikote muse, why have you forsaken me? Titan's Bane, I mean Edie, what brings you to my humble resort? Philemon? You mean to tell me the goddess made flesh who dwelt among us until so very recently was the songstress of Uldar? Ye gads, man, if I had known that, I would have chained her to my bedpost and never let her leave.
Yeah, you were definitely a hitman. And a pimp.
Ahem! An exaggeration for dramatic effect. As to her current whereabouts, I recall she mentioned Wineport, but there is no need to pursue her, my friend. When she tires of a rough way of living, she will make straight for Costa del Sol and fling herself into my waiting arms, flushed and breathless.
Well, if you say so. But what if I say so? Then what? Anyway, you keep chilling down in your little, chair there. I'm trying to figure out what the correct term for a chair like that is. Unfortunately, I don't know. Yeah, it does look like 2-Bit Wrangle is doing the same task I'm doing. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going. So now that we're here in Wineport, let's go ahead and speak with the person of interest. Oh, Beerglance. We met this Gordon Ramsay wannabe back on day 50 in year 1. Oh, well, if it isn't Edie, the savior of Wineport, to what do we owe the pleasure? Ah, yes, we did receive a customer matching that description. She was a delight to behold, to give the woman her due, but her perfume was so ghastly I had no choice but to eject her from the premises. Interfering with tastings, you understand. Yeah, definitely sounds like Gordon Ramsay, doesn't it? If she is your quarry, why not counsel your blind associate? His olfactory perception is without peer, given that I could smell the woman from a mile away. I dare say he could smell her from 10. Alright, so that's 1 down. Yeah, the Brother Dragoon is on the same pursuit as me. So, which way do we want to go? Okay, it's not that far. Looks like we just have to run right up to the top tier of all these grapevines. We want to speak with Yungbar. Alright, you have an interesting name. Hey, you want to know if I've seen a Mikote lass by the name of Philemon? I wish! I haven't seen a lass of any description from far too bloody long. Yeah, too busy dealing with Gordon Ramsay, huh? Well, now we want to speak with someone that we've actually helped out before. Shamani Lomani, who we helped to find the coveted Bacchus grapevine cutting that would lead to our getting a bottle of very rare wine as part of our scavenger hunt. So, Shamani Lomani, good to see you again.
I see you've had many grand adventures since we last spoke, Edie. You must share them with me sometime. The girl from a little while ago? One does not forget a perfume like that, so robust and intoxicating, yet simultaneously familiar. reminiscent of a bloom native to these parts, in fact. I said as much when we spoke. She complimented my powers of observation and asked me where she might find some of the flowers. So I told her to follow the road south into Raincatcher Gully, then head east after crossing the second bridge. The flowers which grow in the shade of the cliff have the strongest scent, you see. If you make haste, you may yet find her there.
Thanks, Shamani. Good to see you, an old friend again. I'm glad I was able to help you as much as I could, and did. So, the place we want to go to is going to be in Raincatcher Gully. All we have to do is just follow the yellow arrow, because yellow arrows tell you where you need to go when an icon does not tell you where to go. So we're going to go across this bridge. And for those of you who are not familiar, since the introduction of patch 2.4, this particular warehouse is now inhabited for the introduction of the most recent warrior class known as Ninja. And so you have to start out, you cannot get the initial warrior class for the Ninja, the Rogue, by when you start a new file or start a new character. You have to get that after you've started the game. And then once you've done that, then once you reach a certain milestone, then you can start changing to different warrior classes like the Rogue, and then ultimately build yourself up to become a ninja. I actually have my first avatar, Mathia, at level 50 ninja already. I was actually able to pull it off on the day of American Thanksgiving last year, and so that was the second level 50 warrior that I got, and since then I have also gotten a third level 50 warrior, which is the paladin, which is the gladiator, and that's the swordsman. So I've gotten that enhanced warrior class as well, and I'm currently building up a white mage, a healer as well. So I'll have a 2 DPS, tank, and healer all at level 50 in due time. So this is the particular lady that we've been looking for by the name of Philemon, but as you can see we have a purple barrier surrounding her. And if you've been watching my Let's Play, you know what this means. Upon breaching the barrier, something we have to fight. In this case, a big ugly Gubu. Thankfully, we're so strong that we can easily dispatch it. And down it goes. Alright. Lady Philemon, I presume?
I am in your debt, stranger. I did not realize my activities had aroused the Gubu's ire until it was too late.
And man, those are some massive flowers. Wow.
Their oils can be used to make a perfume, you see, and
well, before you continue talking, I should tell you something.
Philemon? I don't...
Well, you have the name, right? You just happen to share the name?
Who are you? Whom do you serve?
Well, I guess it would be this young man.
Typical. Of all the many leads, yours obviously had to be the one which bore fruit. I don't know why I bother. The Songstress of Uldar, I presume? Minfilia, or shall I say, Asilia, is looking for you.
So the Minfilia, she changed her name from Asilia? Wow, that's a new fact.
Asilia? You are the very picture of health, milady, yet the world thinks you dead. I can only conclude that this was by design. The question is, why? Not everyone who endeavors to find me does so with the best intentions, child. You will be pleased to know that I fully intend to reveal myself to Minfilia when the time is right. Oh, well, that does please me, more than you know. But tell me, sojourns in the force of Lanosea aside, when exactly will the time be right?
Yeah, like, you can't rush these things, you know.
When I deem it so. Do you imagine I traveled...
Yeah, rule number 1 about Let's Playing. Don't eat right before you start recording.
Do you imagine I traveled all this way on a whim? As I was telling your associate prior to your intrusion, I came here to harvest these flowers for use in a perfume. Does that satisfy your curiosity, or would you interrogate me further?
My apologies for the interruption. Anyway, now that we have all that we came for,
Might we continue this conversation in a safer locale? Wineport, say? Yeah, sure, I'll be willing to accommodate to that. Then it's settled. To Wineport, Edie. Of course, they're Alphinaud. Alright, so back to our location in Wineport. We'll take the Aetherites, just because I can. Because I can, and no one can stop me! Well, actually, I can. If I was moving while the teleport bar was in effect, I would have actually stopped myself from teleporting. But anyway, here's Alphinaud. This is not at all how I envisioned it. Having been apprised of our situation, Lady Philemon has consented to plead our case to Minfilia regarding the proposed move to Mordona. However, she will only do so once her perfume is complete. Moreover, she insists that we aid her in obtaining the final ingredients. She will not be swayed. I assure you I've tried. Let's just get this over with, shall we? I don't think I'll object to that. So the item we just got was cooking sherry. Like, if you're doing the culinarian class role on the side, that's something you can use. It's something you might as well just use because as an item to put up for market, it's basically worthless. So let's speak with Philemon and take her level 50 challenge entitled All Things in Time. Philemon awaits your assistance. Believe me when I tell you that I am every bit as eager to return to Vesper Bay as you are. There is work to be done at that. However, so listen well. I require pristine salamander oil to complete my perfume. Oil this pure can only be obtained from the belly of a Gurangach, a notoriously elusive species of wavekin native to Bronze Lake. Elusive, I say, yet no less sensible to the allure of the right bait. In this instance, that would be freshly slain mud pugils. 3 placed at the water's edge should be sufficient to tempt any Gurangach lurking nearby. They are aggressive when startled and will attack on sight. Yet given the ease with which you dispatch that Gubu, I doubt they will trouble you unduly. So, we want to go to Upper Lanosea as opposed to Middle Lanosea. So, well, actually, you know what, it'll be easier just to, because she said Bronze Lake, so it'll just be easier to teleport there. And yeah, I'm almost out of free tickets from being such a loyal gamer and having kept my subscription going since February of last year. Oh, and I believe we ran into someone wearing a snow... Well, okay, how did you get a Frosty the Snowman head? Actually, that was something that you could have obtained... Actually, I don't know if you could have obtained it. There was a Christmas themed event that I was wanting to record for YouTube. However, it didn't go the way I'd hoped, primarily due to the fact that when I tried to record, I didn't know that I could actually use my capture card to record PS4 until I saw a YouTube video that showed me that I actually could. Before that, the PS4 does have its own video recording capabilities, but you're limited to only having 15 minutes of video. And so what I thought I could do was record a 15-minute clip, then record another 15-minute clip, and just keep repeating the process. However, it did not go as I expected, because when I tried to make my second video, when I was finished, I found out that the second video erased the first one. Yeah, so yes, and since everything you do in Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn is saved automatically, that meant I could do nothing over, and that meant the video that I wanted to do for you guys for Christmas from this game was lost. Suffice it to say, I was quite pissed. So we need to go back over to, put it down there, Edie. We need to go. And yeah, you may have noticed that with the extra enhancement that I got to my Gay Bold Lance, when you bring it out and draw it and use it in battle, it actually glows. Which is really cool. Yeah, that will happen for all other enhanced relic weapon challenges that you do. Like, once you start getting the various steps of the relic weapon enhancements,
you will start to see your weapon glowing and in different colors. So, back over to near where we went for the Wanderer's Palace. This right at the very edge. The last spot we can step into before the water sinks really deep is where we need to place our bait. And enjoy the nice serene music for now, cause it won't last. Because... Okay, saying gotta lie in wait. Where would we wait though? Okay, over here. And like, the stupid salamanders are hiding my spot. Alright, so now we have to wait. And then once the target monster arrives, we make our move. And go! Now that is one huge salamander. That's not the jump attack I wanted to do. Nonetheless, we're doing a pretty good job of pounding this thing. Yeah, you can try and sting and spray me if you want, but I can just as easily walk around it. And it won't be long now until you, good sir, are dead. And now you are dead. Alright, back to Wineport. Yeah, that wasn't all that bad. Just gonna kill a few simple enemies, and that's all she wrote. So, returning now to Wineport. As the sun now really starts to set, the darkness won't fall on our pursuit of achieving this goal, I can tell you that much. Edie, put your weapon down. Put your weapon away, especially in front of a lady. Alright, Philemon. Yep, I got what you're looking for.
Once again, I am in your debt. I distilled the flower's oils in your absence, so all that remains is to... There, it is ready. And so am I. It is time we went to see my daughter.
And so now, only one last thing left to do. Back to the Waking Sands. And we have returned now to the Waking Sands. And so now let's speak with Lady Minfilia to complete the challenge. As the door opens...
Antecedent, you have a guest.
Like, another one? Well, you're gonna be shocked by who it is.
Lamin?
Oh, that's her. That's what she refers to her as?
Acelia.
Yeah, it's actually her. It's quite the shock, isn't it? At last, the two are reunited. A happy ending to our tale.
I haven't seen her like this in years, Edie.
Well, I'll bet. I mean, imagine all she's had to go through. And that's a lot. And it would definitely be worth a smile on your face. And a tear in your eye.
I never truly believed it when they told me you were dead. But what kept you away for so long? The Imperials came for me, as I always knew they would. And so I resolved to stay as far away from you as I could, lest their pursuit of me endanger you and our cause. I could think of no better way to grant you the freedom to continue our work. And continue it you did, achieving things I would not have imagined possible. I followed your every success and celebrated in secret. I'm so proud of you, Acelia. I learned from the best. I have a gift for you.
So what does he give her? Or what does she give her?
Salsettia perfume? You remembered! How could I ever forget? You wore it all the time. If I ever lost sight of you, I could find you again just by following my nose.
So it's not actually made from salamander oil, it's made from Fruit Loops?
I did not think it was made anymore. You must have gone to so much trouble. It was no trouble to me, my darling. I fear I cannot say the same for Edie, however. I could not have made it without him.
Yeah, we were in on it.
Thank you, Edie. Thank you both.
Of course, Lady Minfilia.
There's something else.
What else do you want to give her?
This is the cat's eye I found. All these years you kept it?
A marble? A little marble there, Minfilia?
My father was a member of the Alamigan resistance. When I was yet a child, he brought me here to Uldar. The accident which claimed his life happened shortly after our arrival. It was Lamine who took care of me then. She raised me as her own, taught me everything I needed to know to survive.
And you have.
I am no stranger to the facts of your history, yet I fear I have failed to grasp their implications. It is clear that there is much I do not know, about you and your mother both. One of her first lessons to me concerned mining, and I was a very dedicated student. This cat's eye was the first stone I unearthed. It wasn't much, of course, but I was exceedingly proud to have found it nonetheless.
Oh, no wonder it's so important.
So I give it to Lamine as a gift. She said it was beautiful, but there I am at a loss. Why are you returning this to me? Is something amiss? No, Celia, nothing is amiss. Quite the opposite. I need you to realize how far you've come, and how much further you must still go. You and your allies have accomplished far more than I could have ever hoped. You have succeeded where I have failed. You made me so proud that words fail me. But even as I marvel at the woman you've become, and at all the many things you've done, I cannot help but think of that which you have yet to do, and of what it may entail. Celia, daughter, you cannot stay here anymore. You and the Scions must leave Uldar.
Yeah, encouragement from Alphinaud.
You built it once, Cecilia. You can build it again, and this time we'll do it together. Truly?
Of course. And so now, with insight from her mother,
Alphinaud, the time has come for the Scions to leave Vesper Bay. We shall establish new headquarters in Revenant's Hall, as you proposed.
I'm glad you see it my way.
Much work lies ahead of us. Inform our fellow Scions and send word to the students of Baldessian. Preparations begin at once.
Mission accomplished, Philemon. All she needed was a little persuasion. And a long-lost mother. So, with that, this challenge is completed. We get 1,220 gil, plus choice of one of 3 materia, or a piece of silver. Now, I'm not going to take the silver because it's not worth as much as the 3 pieces of materia. Now, considering that I don't necessarily do all that much in terms of gathering, I'll still take one anyway. And so, with that, having reunited Lady Minfilia with her long-lost mother, and now with the intention to move the Scions of the 7th Dawn to Mordona, we now have to help them prepare for relocation. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will assist the Scions of the 7th Dawn as they begin to make leave from Vesper Bay. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.